Yo, what's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and we are live and we are direct. The devs are about to do a live stream, and we're gonna go ahead and watch it and talk about it as it happens. We are gonna be seeing Black Panther, and it's a Q&A with Chris Judge, Evan Narcisse, and Hannah MacLeod. And they are going to be showing off Black Panther a little bit more. I thought these dev streams are normally at like 5 o'clock my time, so I thought that's what we were looking at, but it's early today. So I've got this up right here for now. What's up, everybody? What's up, Breezy? What's happening, Shamir? What's happening, Harry? What's happening, Uncharted? What's happening, Commander Scott? Oliver Cook, Tuck, Chocolate Ice, the Boss of 2K, Gamer D Shorts, Domi, Fishy Army, David A, Luca Marvel, Master, Tristan Velarde, David Rios, Benjamin Keaton. What is happening? I'm like so tired right now because I mowed the lawn and it was like so gross. It's been raining where I live, like outside of Boston, like every single day for like 3 weeks straight, and it's just kind of crazy. Yo, what's up, Play Avenger? I just, it's been so crazy, and man, that was just a hard lawn to mow. What's up, Chocolate Mad? I can't wait, man. I'm so hyped for Black Panther. He looks so sick right there. What's up, Jamil? What's happening, Cool Boy Bryant? So I hope they're going to show us some cool stuff. Are you guys excited about the voice of Kratos being Black Panther? Boy. It's as deep as I can go. I like this kind of artwork here. This is really funky. Definitely digging it. So Black Panther, I think, is going to be a fantastic addition to this game. Very, very excited for Black Panther. What's up, Commando Rex? I think you know, I'm a little early though. It should be starting in about 4 minutes. What's up, Shady Mustafa? You're hyped for Black Panther? I'm super hyped. What's up, Graham? I'm gonna just switch screens real quick. Whoopsies. Go over to the Elgato real quick. So I'm just kind of hanging out here. You know, we, I guess the, we'll go to objectives. I guess they started back up the Red Room stuff since Black Widow is out this week. And I guess there's actually some extra, stuff that you can do. You can get, some more, not iconic armor, exotic armor. I'm like a little tired, so you know, we've got you can get some more exotic armor, lots of XP, defeat enemies of all kind, Red Room event assignments, 5 of 5, knock enemies into techno lava, blech. So we already kind of did a lot of this, but we'll go back to it. So so there we go. I think they're gonna show some gameplay. I don't know about gameplay, actually. I think I heard they're going to show the hub. What's happening, Big Ginge? What's happening, Corgsy Longface? What's happening, Patrick Star Chronicles? What's happening, Tyler? So I think from what I understand, we're going to see hubs, and we are going to see Chris Judge and talk to Evan Narcisse and Hannah MacLeod, who have been working on the game. I don't know if they're going to show too much gameplay, so I kind of feel like they're going to like slowly roll this out. So if I had to guess, oh, yo, Hazy Cool right calling me out. Calling me out, bro, sup. There you go. I love it. What's happening, Smart Monkey? So I love it that obviously somebody is watching both right now. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm hoping they show gameplay too. So this should be starting in like a minute or two. I almost missed it, Hazy Cool One. I almost missed it. But I saw it. I'm definitely hoping they show some gameplay. People acting like jerks in the chat already. So we'll see what's up. What's up, Brock? LOL, you the goat. Appreciate that, man. All right, we're gonna go full screen now. All right. Yeah, I do see the people are acting like a jerk in the chat. I mean, I wonder who's next after Black Panther. That's the $1 million question, right? I mean, obviously, I think Spider-Man is next, but we're not counting Spider-Man. I would say I feel like we're not going to go straight into Captain Marvel. I feel like Captain Marvel is going to be like the next really big expansion. But I would say, I don't know. War Machine? I feel like War Machine would make a lot of sense because, you know, I feel like, yo, what's up, my man DJ Chrome, aka Adrian Pottinger. Adrian is my dude. We bump that DJ Chrome. I'll tell you what, my man. My favorite song of these is Lo-Fi in Paradise. This one. This is my favorite one to start the stream out with. So if you don't know about DJ Chrome, this is him. And that is him. Free J, hashtag. What's up, Dark Marvel? Tapping an angel. I feel like War Machine or Winter Soldier would be good picks. I think they're going to do something more along the lines... Oh, here we go. Sorry, Chrome. I think they're going to do something more along the lines of Clint and Kate before they go to a big one, you know? Here we go.
But as a man who has seen 3 Black Panthers fall, I must warn you of a few things. Many eyes follow the path you are about to walk down.
Ooh. This is so cool looking, man. I feel like we've seen this. Oh no, 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 no. Hold on. That's probably enough music to get this demonetized. But I'm gonna just mute it for a second, alright? Because the music is gonna just kill me. We've already seen this. This is the trailer for Black Panther. You got Claw right here. From what I understand, there's gonna be multiple bosses. We've already seen the Crossbones rumor. Get another street level Avenger first. I agree with that, Chrome. Like, I think it's going to be someone a little more basic before they go into a big expansion like Captain Marvel. As soon as I know the music is gone, I'll go back. He does sound awesome as T'Challa, and we're going to hear some more, I'm sure. That's a really good take on Shuri, too. So let's just give it a moment. I don't want this music to kill me. Look at, like, Super Claw here. I love this kind of classic comic book Claw, no matter how big he is. All right. Oh, some music was still there. Make way for the king. Oh, my God. Music is still going. All right, there we go. Woo! And there he is.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, Andy? Andy's a good guy.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, indeed. Oh no, we can't hear him.
Definitely is. I am loving it. I'm super excited. People in chat already saying Mr. Judge, Chris Judge. They're excited. They're excited.
Oh no. We can't hear him. Do they know we can't hear him yet?
Done.
Do they know we can't hear him? What's up, Nathaniel Thought? He's muted.
They're saying you're muted.
Muted? I might have been. I think we're good. Can you hear us?
They're saying there's no audio and they can't hear him.
I am definitely
There he is. Woo, there he is. We can hear him now.
I think it was on my end. I think we can hear it. They can hear you now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Boy. Everybody, can I get a boy in chat? Everybody in chat, just go, boy.
Boy.
There it is. Right on, oh, right
All right,
there. Right
there
on,
we go.
there we go.
Okay.
Boy.
Sorry about that. I think it was on my end.
Love Ant-Man and Vision. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Now the chat is actually going wild. All right, so
Liam wants Mockingbird,
obviously we have
Shuri,
Chris Judge
Vision.
here.
Nice.
He is the voice of Black Panther in Marvel's Avengers.
Turn it
We're
up.
Super excited. We got some of your questions on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and we're just gonna get going. We also have Evan Narcisse and Hannah MacLeod joining us a
Boy.
little bit later at like 10:30ish. But Chris, we have a lot of questions for you.
All right, let's get
All
to
right,
it.
let's get
ready?
to him.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first one is, how does it feel to be voicing Black Panther?
You know, it's great.
Dude, he looks like
I
he could
really,
like break
had
everybody
some-
in
well,
Avengers like
I have
as
a
himself,
definitive
not even Black
list
Panther, right?
of
Hello,
roles
boy.
that,
I love
I
it.
would be willing to do, which is very short. And
He's just got that like that
and,
voice,
Black
you know.
Panther was definitely one of them. I never thought I would get the opportunity to do it, but
Great pick, right?
it's
The goat of
it's
war,
been-
right, Art Assassin?
it's been fantastic. It's been an honor.
It's great to hear. All right. So the next,
Alright.
go ahead.
Okay. Next question. What was your approach or inspiration for playing Black Panther? Like, did you do any research into the character, his origins, that kind of thing?
He's got the Black
didn't
Panther
even do
pops in the
A lot
background.
of research.
He's got the. I need to get that
what
Black
a lot
Panther
of people don't
Tumblr.
know is,
I'm gonna order it like right now on stream.
I am a nerd.
I need
So
his voice.
Yes.
Started collecting comics in the '60s. So from that standpoint, I was very familiar with the character. From an actor's standpoint, because I wanted to my version of my interpretation of T'Challa to be my own, to be
That's
it
fair.
judged on its own merits. I really didn't listen to anyone else's take on it. I wanted to be completely
fair.
kind of autonomous. And having said that, the work I did do was with my wonderful, I hesitate to use the word coach because she was so much more my voice mentor, my spiritual guru, Miss Beth McGuire, who we spent
I'd love to see a Black Panther game. I agree.
months.
That'd be really cool.
Really trying to dial in the accent. And Beth was also
I don't want to talk
the,
over them too much, guys. So we're just
vocal,
gonna like kind of watch
coach
together,
on
and
the
I'll
film.
add in when I
So,
can.
Wow.
I not only hopefully learned the
Thank you,
accent,
Michael.
but the origins of the accent, how it came about, and it was a very
Dude,
interesting.
he's got Black
ride,
Panther
because
next to Kratos.
I'm not a voice
And I want
artist.
that.
Like, they really are artists. They have a library of voices.
I agree,
that they
early
can
memory.
do.
His voice is too deep for Black
I
Widow.
pretty much got this, and I really don't ever venture out of the kind of basement of my voice. And
I'll
with
say.
Beth, a lot of it was because I didn't want him. I mean, obviously, it's always going to be some sort of me,
Thank you, Tyler.
but I didn't want him to sound like any characters that I previously played.
Hmm.
And I couldn't do that if I stayed in the bottom of my vocal range.
That's cool.
I see. All right. So, what were some of the challenges of playing Black Panther, if any, at all?
Well, some of the challenges were kind of recording in isolation. It was really the first time I had done
a leading character, kind of on my own without any of the other cast present, and due to obviously COVID,
These are the challenges of making games during this, right?
record that way.
How many
So I
Black
actually
Panther
recorded
Kratos,
from
right?
home, and it's a very different process when you don't have.
I could see, I could see T'Challa with a deep voice too. I think we're just so used to Chadwick Boseman's take, though, and Chadwick Boseman had like a very even keel voice.
I found that very challenging.
Art assassin, dude, mentioned, yeah. I feel like anybody can be better Black Panther. I mean, maybe Scorpion, but you don't know. I love Chadwick Boseman too.
Black Panther differ from some of your other roles?
It's interesting. So I like to physically try to be closer to the character that I'm playing. So my previous characters are big, huge, muscly characters. So I worked out quite a bit to get bigger. And one of the things that I found was with T'Challa being obviously athletic, obviously muscular, but he was lithe and quick and springy, and much
I feel like his shirt says Wakanda
than that. And I was well into
I want to see whatever shirt he's wearing.
If it's called the COVID 20, but I was probably in my COVID 40 pounds, and I found it difficult to kind of vocally
agreed
portray
Scorpion
the
agreed
physicality of someone who was lither, more quicker, agile. So I actually I lost, I think, 32 pounds.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I wish I could just suddenly lose 32 pounds. Trust me, I need it. What's up, MJ Project? Chadwick, I'm used to hear Black Panther deep voice.
Weight-wise.
Wow, interesting.
So the same thing about Heath Ledger's Joker.
Into everything.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree, Monster Trio.
I've been fortunate to have the career I have. I've just vowed to not ever do anything that that I don't believe in 100%.
Agreed, Antoine.
And that I'm not 100% committed to.
Rest in power, indeed.
And I have always believed that the physicality of a character is a very vital ingredient into being able to get into the headspace of it.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, Silver SSJ.
That's some dedication. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
for all your roles.
Well, thank you very much.
So this is from a player, Just Tankman. What is your favorite thing about Black Panther as a character in like everything, all mediums?
That he's not only, very often we get into what a character is able to do physically and not intellectually. I love that he's not only this physically dominant character, but his intellect and his quickness, and he has this
get an ASMR stream sometime.
And
do I have a soothing voice
about him?
Do you like the sound of my voice? I don't want to talk over a man like this.
And,
I've played God of War a little bit.
Not only the relationships,
Black Panther doesn't
say.
Boy, does Spider-Man at some point.
I got to say Wakanda forever.
I told you his shirt says Wakanda. I saw that.
This has been announced. I can wear all my cool Wakanda.
Dude, there it is. Nice. I told you. I saw that earlier. I called it.
When I first, when we first started doing it, when I was first hired, I felt weird, like, because everything in Hollywood's so hush hush these days. I felt like I couldn't wear any of my Black Panther stuff, or people will go, "Why are you wearing that?"
Because the rumors might start or something.
Right.
Post like a picture of you on Twitter just for funsies. I didn't even realize you had a Black Panther shirt on. Nice, I love it.
Yeah,
I saw it, Andy. I saw it.
Since getting the job, that I've actually worn some Black Panther stuff.
I love it. I love it.
You're free to do it. You're like, it's out there. I'm gonna wear this on a live stream. on Zoom. That's great. I love it.
Layla
I
is
love
not
it.
impressed as we are.
All right. Speaking of people, what was it like working with our team at Crystal Dynamics?
It was fantastic.
Falcon Winter Soldier, caped Black
You know,
Panther suit.
the whole world obviously was going through.
I think Roy will turn to
rough
Ultron,
time.
maybe.
And to be able
Vote for War
to
Machine, I feel like a sidekick superhero.
have interactions.
I just picked
with
3
people,
random characters that we had already said.
but also to be.
It
able
only
to
gave me 4
talk
choices, so I had to put
about
other for the 4th one.
What was going on in the world? What was going on in our country? What was that was not, and I don't want to get away from how great they are at what they do, but the emotional support through a lot of heavy stuff that was going on was it was immeasurable how much it helped me to get through.
I like that answer. That's a good answer, man. I hope this character means something to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
And the amount of care.
I did call the shirt, right, J Hill? I just saw a W.
In reverence for this character, for Wakandans, for it's great. You know, you like for the dedication of other people that you work with to be
Vivid suck.
equal to yours, and definitely.
I agree,
that,
Silver.
and their reverence.
That Black Panther suit. That's
respect
down there.
Knowledge.
I think
of
down there.
Not only
it's pretty dope.
T'Challa, but Wakanda in general it was fantastic.
Yeah, I know a lot of our, especially our narrative team, they were just like oozing every time they worked with you. Anthony Beale, who's a big
Ant-Man and
fan
Wasp
of yours,
maybe.
He was like going crazy, and when I was typing to him, I'm like, I had a session with Chris Judge today. I'm like, I can't wait to meet him. And we were all like, man, let's. I'm so jealous.
He's great, and the great thing is, he kept it a secret until I think our next to last record. I think it was our next to last or second to last record, where he just full on just. And I was like, man, thank you for not telling me till now, because that's kind of creepy, dog.
You're like, You're like, now that I know.
No, he was great. He was great.
Anthony, if you're watching, shout out to you.
Shout out, brother.
Shout out. All right, so this one is what does Wakanda mean to you?
Hope. Aspiration. As an older black actor, because you know I don't ever want to be non-committal about I'm black. I've been around since the 60s, so to have a society that is technologically advanced, intellectually advanced, meant everything. You know, when the media entertainment portrayed people of color a certain way for so long,
I'm trying to be respectful and not talk over him too much, but I'll answer all these questions soon.
That I took this job was not only because I love the character and it meant a lot to me, but it was also that I still have in my mind the hope at some premiere or some event I will have a chance to say thank you to Ryan, say thank you to a lot of the team that got the Black Panther projects done, because I've literally watched different types of Black Panther projects try to get made since probably the 80s. And
it's awesome that this means so much to him, you know,
in all its various forms.
Like, I have to imagine, like, to be someone like him to
wonderful.
play a character like Black Panther that is
And to be a part
so
of it
important,
is
you know?
Truly, it's humbling.
It's really
It's
cool to
really
see him, you know, react this way with the reverence, you know?
Thank you. Thank you for answering that question.
Absolutely. Wait, do
I
I, have
thought
a
Loki
choice
is
to not
amazing.
answer?
You know,
Probably
well,
I mean,
I mean, you could, I guess, if you really didn't want to.
all right. Here's a question from one of our viewers, Carrot
Oh,
Scraps,
again,
who
Rex, I
asked,
agree with
as an
that. No
actor, How do
spoilers.
you approach a new character?
Internally.
Yo, what's up, Brienne?
I try to. It was a different
Yeah, we'll get you in sometime, Brienne.
process with this one. Just knowing
Take
that
a train to Asgard, get away from the
I
robot
didn't
enemies.
have
I don't
the
hate
rest of the
that.
cast to
When the
play
Spider-Man
off,
expansion comes, which
I
villain do you hope for?
had to
Ooh, that's a
be
good question.
more invested.
Maybe
in
that'll be our next
preparation.
poll, Chocolate Ice.
With previous stuff,
I want somebody
did
unique.
my own work and brought that
Somebody
to
like
the
that we don't get a
table.
lot.
But one of the great things about working with Beth beforehand was that we got to explore T'Challa's relationships with other characters and really hash them out. Generally, that's something I would wait to do on set to see where it lands.
Somebody
See
like
where
Techie.
your interaction in person is with the other characters. And because we didn't have that ability to even have like raid throughs together to
That's
do
dope.
any of that, I had to do all that work on my own. Well,
Hey,
on
let's
my
not
own
thirst
with
after
Beth
Layla,
beforehand.
okay?
And so that was a completely different process for me.
They just got rid of Evan.
Evan popped in there a little bit.
Just like, see ya.
Evan, it's okay.
Evan, what's up?
I know. Hey, Evan, how's it going? We'll talk to Evan and like
knowing that Evan was involved.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times just on different stuff that I work on, I always go, such and such character would never say that. With Evan being involved, I couldn't do that.
There he is.
Hi, Evan. You're live right now, Evan. By the way.
No, I know. So I decided to come back.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. How are you?
You know,
Evan?
I'd like to fight with
I'm
Spider-Man
good. Hold on, I gotta
Hobgoblin.
mute the Twitch. Because
I feel like we don't get a lot of Hobgoblin.
Wait. I wanted to see what was in Evan's background, because that tells.
Yo,
so
look at
much
that Black
about
Panther thing right
people,
there,
what's
right?
in their background of their.
Okay,
I agree with him
I'm gonna
completely.
tilt the
That's-
camera a little bit.
I can't wait.
So
Look at that.
You know, it's a little black nerd shrine. I got.
Awesome.
You can see the Miles
Beautiful.
Morales soundtrack.
Oh.
Wow.
Right there. Hold on. Yeah, right there. There's Miles Morales. That's an trade paperback of Icon. You know, Milestone Media,
Wow.
their superhero character.
Uh-huh.
That is a book on a Tribe Called Quest by Hanif Abdurraqib, which is
What?
amazing. Yeah, you
I
gotta
like
read
the
that
Tribe
book.
Called
It's
Quest.
amazing. That's a Black Panther helmet that a
That
friend of
is
mine
sick.
3D printed for me.
Oh, damn.
I know. I had that.
Can I have one?
That was
That's the art of making Miles Morales. I wrote an introduction for that, a forward for that.
Wow.
That is art of the movie book, signed by somebody very special. I'm not at liberty to divulge. Last year I broke my hip, and that showed up in the hospital.
Wow.
And that's a French edition. Sorry, I'm like this is my camera works terrible, but that's a French edition to Rise of the Black Panther, which is this beautiful hardcover that one of the artists, Paul Renault, bought to New York a couple of years ago, and it was a wonder. It was a joy to work with Paul. But yeah, anyway, I just want to say hi to Chris. I didn't know you're an old school comic book nerd, so hopefully one day soon we can get together and talk comics. I would love to do that.
I would love it. I would
like to just sit and listen, right?
Sure, Andy.
You know, you don't.
As long as you act right.
Okay, all right, okay. I think we'll go with that. I'll just be in the corner, just so you know, like observing. That sounds
I just
really
want to say
creepy.
hi. I don't want to cut into Chris's time. It's been such a joy to have you voicing T'Challa in this game, and you know, I just can't wait for everybody to hear your performance and
Oh.
the world that,
Oh.
that these guys have been building over.
So we want Loki as
Brother,
our villain.
Thank you so much.
All right,
It's
and
been such
I'm
a
gonna
joy.
pop out.
Oh, you can stay if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna stay and be quiet. I'm gonna mute.
Okay. We have a bunch of questions for you later.
This is awesome,
so,
right? Like I'm really
Chris,
enjoying
I think
this.
we kind of delved into this. I think you were like leading into it, but so did you find the voice like easy, hard to do, challenging? Like how many different layers went into it?
Oh, a lot. The great and wonderfully annoying thing about Beth.
Starting to think Tinkerer.
She,
But they just
she
did
let me
Tinkerer, right?
Get away with absolutely
Demogoblin. I
nothing.
like Hobgoblin personally.
And her ear,
King
is
the Conqueror
so
in the Avengers
finely
game?
tuned. She knew exactly.
Not now. Maybe
when I
later.
was trying to cheat.
Yeah, Carnage would be pretty cool.
And by cheating, I mean that to get to certain places in my vocal register, you have to bring the air from certain parts of your body and hit it off certain parts of the palate. You know, it's all that stuff that I had never really explored, and she made me very specific. And so there weren't, so you know, we would the script was voluminous. So when you're doing
Andy's doing a good job too hosting.
takes of stuff and you really felt it, and sometimes Beth would go
I agree with that, Haggis. Venom is
Super blunt.
I just wanted to
like,
put
nah.
popular characters. You know what I mean? I only had
but you
3
know,
choices to put up. You know.
I love her so much. This and this is not about race. This is about, you know, it's the genesis of the dialect was the Hosa language. Now this is a white woman who got into her car and drove across Africa by herself.
Wow.
So it lent a different weight to when she would say, this is where this came from, this is where this came from, this is, because she didn't read about it. She went and did it, you know, and her spirit and her
I'm like very
openness
enthralled by this
to
conversation.
her emotions and to, as I said before, everything that was going on in real culture was, we would talk sometimes for hours.
Wow.
We would and just
Yeah, Doc Ock would work too. MJ, you're right.
she will be
I love
a
Black
soul
Panther too. Jay
friend
Richardson.
for the rest
What's up,
of
William
my
Graham?
life. It's just
Again,
a-
I'm
just
trying
a
not to talk
wonderful,
too much
wonderful woman,
over these guys.
but a taskmaster.
No more Taskmaster.
and so there were recordings that she made for me that I would listen to
Next year, Winter Soldier.
because initially
That'd be good. I'd be good with Winter
I
Soldier.
knew I didn't want to do a voice match, and I was very adamant about that. So one of the things that I kind of already had in the bank was Forrest when he did Last King of Scotland. So that was my own kind of base going into it,
Interesting.
which I quickly had to get rid of.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm like, that's interesting. I'm gonna try I'm gonna try hearing for that. Okay.
Because her ear for regional African accents.
Yeah, I don't
it's-
remember
It's
Sarah being good.
incredible. It's almost unnerving. And then part of it came from Mandela. And so at times she would say, nope, we need to go again. You fell into your Mandela. And
It's crazy to think about how this all works. You know what I mean?
Wonderful. She's just a wonderful human being. And I was very, very
Jackal.
lucky and
The spider bots in Black Panther DLC
forever
look like Doc Ock
affected
spots.
by-
That is
by
Shroot
being
Keeper,
in love
boss.
with Beth.
Avengers did task
Love you,
somebody
Beth.
right.
Got there.
Oh, that's awesome. We have another question from a user. This one's from Cute Little Chaos Kitty.
Cute little chaos
What are
kitty.
you most proud of in your
Little
performance?
kitty.
He did the same
I'm sorry,
thing.
say it again.
There's a lot going on there.
There is a lot going on there.
Hey, Kitty.
He called it out.
What were
Rhino?
you most proud of in your performance?
Ooh,
Not one Chadwick Boseman
I
question
think-
so far. That's interesting.
Wow.
That would be one of
That's
the
a
first
tough
things
one.
I would
Most
ask him.
I'm proud of it all.
Were you worried
Um,
about the comparison to Chadwick Boseman?
the-
Something like that. You know, that's what I would ask.
just that we not just got through it, and when I say we, it's we as the collective.
What's up, Magneto?
I mean, because my performance is the sum of not just my hard work, everyone's hard work. I mean,
What's up, Pizza?
the words were great, the scenes were great. There was so much there, and I'm very stubborn. I
Me too.
have problems giving in to things, and what I'm proud of is giving into the truth of a lot of these moments that happen in this, and being able to walk in the truth of this character for the last year and a half, I guess it's been. So I hesitate to say what I'm proudest of, because I'm proud to have or to be this character, but I'm also honored. So it's more about the honor of being this character.
I like that answer.
Wow. All right. That is 30 minutes. If you want to hang out, if you want to hang out, go. That's totally fine. Hi, Hannah. How are you? It's a party. But yeah, I know you're super, super busy. So I guess like, thank you so much, Chris, for everything.
Thank you. You know, maybe I would love once this is out if we could maybe do another one of these with the fans and hear what they.
Dude, I'd love to talk to him, right?
And just
Who wants to see
maybe hear from them
JayShockblast do
about
that
it.
interview?
You know, I think that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I have definitely plans for that already, and I really want it to happen too.
Awesome.
Didn't
So
think
yes,
you could do
but
it
yeah,
without
on behalf
shoes.
of like just I'm speaking like on.
I
behalf
agree
of
with that
Chris
completely,
Dynamics.
Kagus.
I'm not. But thank you so much. I'm a big fan. I already told you this earlier. We are so happy and so honored to have you as our Black Panther. So thank you.
Thank you for
What's up,
having
Tuck?
me. Thank you, Crystal Dynamics and Marvel, everyone for letting me be part of this, and to all the fans, I really hope you love this as much as we love doing it.
I'd love to chat with him, right?
Aw.
How do I
Chris,
chat
thank
with
you
him?
again. You know, I mean, you were just talking about the legacy of this character and what it means, and you know, like, it's a humbling thing, right? When you approach it, right, and you're like, you realize you're going to be in this gigantic stream of story that's been going on for like, gosh, almost 60 years. Like,
Yeah.
So, you know, again, thank you so much for your commitment, for, you know, approaching it with like some real soul and some heart. And you know, can't wait for you.
This is
guys
awesome,
to-
isn't it, guys?
To see him play this. Thank you so much again, Chris, for your time.
Thank you, Evan. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, and thank you, everybody, and you will love it.
They didn't even ask
Thank
him to
you.
like give us a
Bye,
line.
Chris.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Reminds me of
Thank you.
Akasan.
Now we got to follow that up.
I don't.
I know you guys.
That is
are you ready
Kratos
to
too
follow that
salty.
up?
No pressure.
No pressure at all. No pressure whatsoever. How are you guys?
Good.
Alright, so I'm gonna switch out these nameplates. There we go. Hi Hannah, how are you? Oh, okay. um, anyways, all right. So, thank you, Chris, so much. We can't wait for you guys to hear his version of Black Panther in our Marvel's Avengers. But now we're going to transition to
Imagine if they
this
leak the Zoom
next
code for everyone.
segment with Evan and Hannah. I think Hannah might be having a little bit of audio issues. I don't quite know.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Hannah.
But we'll start with you, Evan. How about that?
Okay. That works for me.
All right. So, you are our narrative consultant. What does that mean?
Basically, it means I help with story, right? So
Thank you,
we talked
Daniel
about
Daniels.
How, what are the game mechanics? We're hearing some ambient audio from you now, Hannah. So, like, what are the game mechanics? How can the story, the narrative design, like, reinforce the game mechanics, right? How can the game mechanics inform the game design, right? So, you know, how to hook those two things together really tightly in a satisfying way. So, you know, that's everything from, okay, does this plot point make sense given the things that the character can do in the game? Given the things that the character can do in the game, how can we make the gameplay more interesting or differentiated? You know, what are the character relationship dynamics? You know, like, why do these people hate each other again? How can we drive that home more? You know, what's their relationship to the game world? You know, what do they do when they're not doing
Let's not
superhero
thirst after the
adventure
females,
stuff,
guys.
you know?
Like, these are real
so it's
people.
kind of
They're not
picking
video
up
game
the
people. When I thirst
story
after
of
the
game is
video
trying
game
to tell
characters,
holistically.
it's sort of
Thinking
creepy,
about
but
the game
okay.
design as part of
But
that, they're not
these are
just
some real
things.
people here.
And, you know, basically, it can mean everything from reading the whole script of a game and giving feedback. It can be writing a side quest, you know, coming up with ideas of other side quests. It can be figuring out a character's backstory and writing their lines. So it depends on the particular studio, the game, the project, what they are trying to achieve, what they feel they need help with, what I feel they need help with. It changes.
You want to see how
with
Kate and
each
T'Challa are?
project.
Yeah, that'd be
But,
interesting.
with this one,
Because Kate's kind
it
of a
was
little
bring people
lackadaisical,
involved. What
a
do you
little
say?
brash.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Awesome. I have yes, I have headphones that both have ears on them because it's me. Yeah, definitely.
What's up, Ryan?
I mean, I feel like Evan directed me a lot, and the other writers as well on the team, just in terms of remembering things about the character that are
Why
important
chat
to who he
says
is,
Sims?
especially. And I don't think the
It's
movie
sort of-
gets into this as much, which is probably why it's so important to hone in on, is his scientist side, his intellectual side, because I think they
I don't know
lean in
who
the movie very
May
much on Shuri being the
Shiranui
tech
is.
person and the science person. But it's so core to his character in the comics that he is intelligent and technologically gifted, and he'll upgrade his own suits and he'll come up with his own things. And so it was always important to make sure he was approaching everything from that mindset. He's not just a he's not just a jock. he's not just, you know, going pummeling things and punching stuff. He really does approach things as someone who likes to thoroughly think through things and to kind of examine them and pick them apart. And so that was probably the biggest note Evan continually had me like thinking of is just, you got to remember that T'Challa is not just a superhero. He is an incredibly intelligent man. So yeah.
Nice.
and she listened.
And she listened.
The next question.
Do a poll.
pretty much
What should we do? A
just, you know,
poll.
piggybacks directly off of that, and it's what was it like working together for both of you?
Let's see. What can we
Awful.
do?
Okay, you heard it here first, everyone.
No, it was amazing. When they told us that Evan was going to work with us, I think just about everybody in the studio flipped out. We have a lot of big fans. And so we actually brought Evan to the studio so he could see some of the stuff we were working on, and also so we could just talk to him. And we had a lot of people going, can we come into the room too? Like, can we sit in on this discussion?
Yeah, he's very smart.
Because we really all, you know, just want to
As
hear
is
his brain. I
Shuri.
think a dozen pages of notes that day of just like and it wasn't always stuff that was specifically having to do with like the plot points of the story. It was really just talking about all of the characters in Wakanda as people and what's important to remember for those characters and how to do them justice. I think that was something that was so important to us, is that we did these characters justice. And I feel very grateful that we've had Evan, because it gives us the confidence to really explore the stories inside Wakanda in a way that I don't think we would have had if Evan wasn't working with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, for my part, it was really fun, you know, like watching the story change and kind of evolve over the course of the development of this expansion was fascinating and fun. And being able to like help, you know, shape that evolution was great too. So yeah, some of the stuff like Hannah said about, you know, the various characteristics of T'Challa as a personality, that was good. But it's also, you know, like one of the things that was in the forefront of my mind, and the whole team for sure, is like, this is one of the first times that people will be able to return to Wakanda en masse, you know, like you know, after the movie, you know, we saw a vision of Wakanda there that obviously, you know, captured people's hearts and minds. And, you know, yeah, there was pressure about following up on that. But
I know
also,
Namor
like,
isn't
okay, this is
a
chance to
villain,
kind of,
but he is a nemesis of Black
unique
Panther.
version of Wakanda as a country, as a culture, these characters. So I think that was the most exciting thing for me, was like, these guys had really thought about, okay, what does Wakandan history look like? How do they honor that history? And you see that in the architecture of the game, the way this version of Wakanda looks. And then, you know, you think about, okay, what's different about this T'Challa? You know, and to me, he's very different. You know, his personality is different than the T'Challa we saw in the movie. And even in the comics, you know, I think they've kind of staked out some unique ground here. And you are smiling. So what is the chat saying? I'm
I turned it off. I didn't want the stress.
No, they were laughing when Hannah said it was awful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, clearly you can see that we hate each other.
What's up, Manny?
Clearly.
No, there's supposed to be a few different
so
villains. Rumor has it
this is for both of
Crossbones
you,
is one of them.
What were your influences in building the narrative for our version of Wakanda? Any specific?
I mean, I have
Alligator
specific comic
Loki.
runs that I could probably reference. Interestingly, and I don't want to get into why, the Flags of Our Fathers run, where Cap comes to Wakanda during World War II, ended up being quite influential in how we crafted the backstory for our characters. I had never heard of that run, and it's very fascinating to see a different Black Panther, because you're so used to seeing T'Challa. So to have Azuri and see that kind of background, it really hit home how important it is to have a set history in mind when you're writing this character, because he comes with all of the history behind it. So you have to be very clear, okay, in our version of Wakanda, this is the history, this is how it's led up to here, here's how these things happened. Rise of the Black Panther also, very much so. I think in addition to the Wakandan history that sort of sits on everything, the family history of T'Challa also really influences everything he does, because there's these key tentpole moments in T'Challa's life that influence who he is as a leader, and so it was very important for us to see, you know, which of those things established in the comics we wanted to take and which we wanted to adjust, so that we got T'Challa to the point that he is in our game. So those would be.
I feel like Manape would be too similar to Abomination. I could see that, but I think that Manape would be a little bit more athletic.
The work that he did on the character in that
I think he would be just different enough.
Is influential to me, and I think everybody who's reading Black Panther afterwards. And, you know,
A little more nimble.
Probably 3 storylines. Enemy of the
World War
State
II
1
cat
and
missions.
2,
That'd be
where,
actually really cool.
You know, there is basically Wakanda, Atlantis, and the Kingdom of Lemuria, which is
I hear you, Silver.
a genetic offshoot of humanity called deviants. They all come to the brink of war, and Magneto gets involved. So, like, one of the things that I love so much about the Priest run is that, like, he really helped develop this idea of what I call like superpowered statecraft, right? It's like, okay, yeah, you know how at the UN, like countries may argue, and you know, two countries that are at war may kind of have disagreements. You know, in the Marvel universe, you know, these countries have superpowers and they have super advanced technology, and you know, they might not necessarily want to abide by the let's play nice and be diplomatic rules. What happens when, like, you know, superpowered nations and superpowered rulers from nations almost come to blows? And I think that that's an idea that Priest explores so well in his run. So those two storylines. There was another storyline where
just to add immediately, I agree. Early memory.
Another really intense reckoning.
Proxy, MC Thorskin. There has been. We're kind of waiting to see what's up with that.
His
maybe his monkey though.
Control a little bit, and you see just how viscerally the kind of blood vengeance that he seeks against Claw affects him. You know, Claw is a character that can tip him over the edge because of the threat he poses. So, you know, those storylines, you know, I love Ta-Nehisi Coates' run on Black Panther a lot. I think he really delves into emotional dynamics of what it means to be a king, how heavy that duty weighs on you, you know, and what it means when the people you rule view you as something other than human. You know, they view the Black Panther as like the living symbol of their history, and that comes with like a lot of weight. So I think those are some.
It's a very interesting perspective.
From comics that we tried to bring into the game.
Absolutely.
Nice. Layla.
Right. Sorry, I just started thinking about, you know, like that question you posed about, like, you know, what does it mean to be a king and like the emotional dynamics. Off in my head, just thinking about
me too, Layla.
We're doing it all the time, so
yes, for real.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. That's a very human answer.
What is it like writing for a game that's continuously evolving and ongoing? Did that like ongoingness aspect of it factor into your writing? Is that something you took into account?
Oh, absolutely. And Evan's up to date on the game too. He was just talking to us about Clint the other day.
Nice.
Yeah. It helps that the narrative team very much works as a collaborative. Like there's been a couple articles that have called me the narrative lead on Wakanda, and I wouldn't consider myself that because our whole team worked very much together on the project, and it's often hard for us to remember who did what part. And Keanu and Nicole and Jess all contributed to that story together. And the usefulness of us working as a team like that is it meant that we knew what was going on the other packs, even though they were being developed simultaneously. And so we could make sure that everything fell in line together, and we're addressing this thing that happened when we introduced Kate and stuff like that. I really appreciate having a narrative team that is so communicative. Like they're on Slack right now talking to me. So we make sure that we're very much in constant communication. And
who
Evan
voices
stuff
Kate?
from
That's a
all
good
of us,
question.
that we were writing and working on and trying to figure out, you know, how does this affect the world at large, the bigger storyline having to do with
I think it's Ashley
how we were going
Birch,
to use
who she was
various
Tiny
villains, and that sort of thing. So it's tough only in the
What's up,
sense
Dr.
that
Dexter?
And any chess move we do is gonna affect all of the others, and so we just want to make sure that they're all in line with each other. But it's because we all work on everything that it's not quite as daunting as it could be.
Nice.
I try to be
Okay.
funny.
So, what makes our version of Wakanda different than ones that might exist in other mediums?
Oof.
I agree, Red Hood Arkham
Asking the
Knight.
hard questions.
Yeah.
I'll start on that a little bit.
Okay.
This version of Wakanda is not quite as isolated as ones in other media. You know,
Interesting.
there was an attempt at establishing diplomatic relations before A-Day, so you know,
Interesting.
their existence is known to some people in the world. You know, the exact coordinates debatable. You know, are they inviting anybody in? No,
I should be
not.
losing.
So you know, I think you know this version of Wakanda is not just a kind of like whispered myth or legend. You know, like the people in higher echelons of political power know.
We'll see you, Jose.
Maybe this your average American citizen, maybe not. You know, or they don't want to believe it. So I would say that you know, from the kind of outsider perspective. The rest
Wow,
of
I'm
the
beating
world,
Alligator Loki?
That's one major difference.
How?
I also think because of some of the changes that we made to this version of T'Challa's backstory, the political mood in the country is probably a little bit different. You know, T'Challa himself is different. And I'm gonna probably keep on beating that drum for as long as we talk about this, because this version of T'Challa, I think, is very different. More arrogant and more aloof.
More aloof.
Probably a little bit more aggro, more aggressive.
Yeah.
So, and I think that trickles down to the rest of the country, right? You know, like, our king's a badass. He's managed to, like, you know, keep us safe, and, you know, he's got a really strong will, and, you know, the threat that Claw poses, which is the biggest threat that this version of Wakanda has ever faced, you know,
only 500 credits.
T'Challa
Waiting
and
for
everybody around
Thor.
him rethink his approach.
What's up,
his
Brady Bronco? Do you
personality.
prefer Civil War or
And so I
Endgame
think,
Black
again,
Panther suit?
You know, the average Wakanda citizen in this game probably trusts.
I think Endgame. No problem,
and
Christian.
they've never seen him kind of falter or reconsider himself. So
I think
it
Endgame
probably
for
makes
sure.
makes them have
The demon alligator should be 0%.
a
I
confidence
disagree.
in his abilities that is probably an extreme confidence that then gets shaken by an extreme threat.
There's definitely a lot of reverence toward T'Challa, I think, in our Wakanda because of that.
He's gonna be more
he's
accurate
less
to the
collaborative
comic
than we
version,
may
who
have
is an
seen him in
asshole.
other places. He's much more, this is my
Sounds that
job,
way.
this is the thing I have to do, this is the weight on me.
My wife just texted me and
So
said she
that's
voted on the
definitely
poll.
True. I think it's also important to note that he's a lot older than necessarily he was.
She
in the
probably
movie.
voted
He's
for Grogu.
Not new to being king. He's been king for quite a while, and so that comes with it sort of a confidence of experience. So that makes him quite a bit different. I think we still wanted to draw from Wakanda all of these important characters, like Okoye and Salvatore, who's a comic book character that we pulled for the game, who I really love. And so we still grounded it in the comics, but we wanted our T'Challa to be in a place where he didn't think he needed the Avengers.
With the
And
healer
that
shield.
he's been doing it on his own for so long that there's no reason for him to think that he's ever going to come across something where he might want other people to join forces with him. And that also contributes a lot to his relationship with Shuri in our game, which I think is very different from pretty much any other version of their relationship. There's a wedge between them. Due to a lot of that backstory that you'll get from playing the game.
Yeah.
Trying really hard not to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But there's a wedge between them.
If you can't see it, it says high early memory.
That they're going to be spending some
My
time
wife says
working
hi
on,
early memory.
in this pack.
She said she voted for me. Who's Grogu? It's the child.
Oh.
Baby Yoda. No offense
Another
taken.
question that will test your unspoiling metal. How is it writing our versions of Black Panther, Shuri, Okoye, and Claw?
Okay.
We're testing you guys. This is a test.
All right.
I'll start by answering about Claw.
Go ahead.
Again, this version of Claw is different too. You know, like you know, in the comics we've seen Claw as a would-be colonizer, you know, as a somebody who's basically out to kind of steal this amazing natural resource of vibranium from Wakanda. You know, the movie kind of put him as more of a mercenary who was only out for his own profit and ran afoul of a very aggressive warrior nation. Here, you know, he too is more of a scientist, right? He's not leaning on anybody else to make the gadgets and technology that he needs to achieve his ends. That's pretty much coming from him. I mean, he is in partnership with AIM, so they provide no support. But like,
So for Thor,
this is clearly
here's what I would
vendetta
like to
that
see.
he's been chasing his whole life, and that's a breadcrumb. That's not a spoiler.
Yep.
Counting on you to keep me honest, Hannah.
Will do.
So yeah, the Claw's different in that way. Shuri, I think,
This is the Thor that I want.
in previous versions of the T'Challa,
It's called
Shuri
Road Worn
relationship,
Thor.
you've seen
It's got that red cape.
sibling rivalry. In the comics, Shuri is mad aggressive.
Yep.
She's cocky, she's arrogant.
Yep.
And
She was
when
unworthy.
She, became the Black Panther in the comics.
She was rejected.
She was really not trying to listen to anybody. So
Yep. She says hi, Christian Wayne, as well.
This version here is, like Hannah said, more collaborative, than T'Challa.
I also
and
like
more
this
social,
one.
It feels weird to say, but she kind of feels like more of a teenager here than in the movie,
Yeah.
because we get a sense that, oh, you have friends and you can hang out with
Shockwife is stalking us. Ah.
them. You're on TikTok all the time.
It's in some ways, it also kind of feels like she's been protected from some of the darker things.
Yes.
It's all good, Graham.
She's definitely been
She's like
shielded
looking at me
from
now.
some
She's
of the
staring
harder
me
stuff.
down
She's
like.
more, I think, optimistic.
Yeah.
And T'Challa again. This is a dude who.
Yeah, I agree with that, Christian.
think
We were talking about MCU
as the embodiment of
costumes.
Wakanda, right? Like, he takes some of those ideals to heart a lot more than in other iterations. So he's a lot more isolationist than other versions of T'Challa from the comic and the movie. I also think he's a lot more angry. With good reason, but and that anger comes out in different ways. T'Challa, I think, mostly in latter-day interpretations of him, has been
new TD double credit card. I really
written and portrayed as somebody who has his emotions under control. But I think that's true of this version. But when he gets angry, you know it and you feel it.
Where do I
And it
see
feels-
the?
And it feels deeply felt.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of Okoye's character, the comics were kind of essential for understanding her as a person and understanding the Dora Milaje. There's some really, really excellent stuff in Ta-Nehisi's run about the Dora Milaje and who they are and what their role is. And I think we drew a lot of that into Okoye's character as well as other Dora Milaje that show up in the game. I didn't know, from the movie you get a very sort of one-dimensional view of who Okoye is and what her relationship with T'Challa is like. But in the comics it's so much more layered than that because there's this whole weight of the Dora Milaje's history again that influences who they are and what their role was in Wakanda. Originally they were potential wives for the Black Panther, and that's part of the honorifics and things that they use with Black Panther. So there's that kind of that's not the way it is anymore, but there's that sort of very relationship between the Dora Milaje and their panther has a particular weight to it that was really fun to play with in terms of Okoye, of how much can she question what T'Challa does and how much does she still, she's meant to serve the Black Panther, she's meant to protect the Black Panther. So there's sort of that dynamic of, we don't want her to be too disrespectful, but also it's Okoye, so she
Sometimes you really should listen to me, Mike.
Wow,
Exactly.
Alligator Loki came flying back, huh?
So yeah,
We'll
that
see,
was a
Haggis.
really fun balance to come up with, and just getting to read all of the Dora Milaje stuff in the comics. They're so cool. I'm such a fan of them. I hope we get to do more with them.
Oh no.
And then from
Sorry.
T'Challa and Shuri, I think we've kind of talked around that a lot. I think Shuri's been really fun to include, just in terms of how she relates to the other Avengers too,
Interesting.
because that's quite different. Not all of the Avengers in our game have necessarily met or been in Wakanda in other iterations, like Kamala. And so getting to sort of see how
That's an
T'Challa would
interesting
react
thought.
to Kamala and Shuri would react to Kamala has been pretty fun because she's such a fangirl and she's so earnest. And it's a little bit different than, how Tony Stark reacts to Wakanda.
Oh, interesting. These are all really cool things I can't wait to experience.
All right, so this is from a player, Pewter Odin.
Pewter
What
Odin,
is
the
both of
legend.
your favorite parts of working on the expansion? I know all these like weird spoilery territory things that you gotta like weave around.
I think for me, my favorite part was getting to figure out what T'Challa's opinion is of the other Avengers. To figure out like how he would feel about these various characters after A-Day and how he would feel about the decisions they made after A-Day and what decisions they're making now has been really, really fun to figure out because it's different depending on which hero he's talking to. And we really like, there was a lot of discussions back and forth in the narrative chat of, okay, how would T'Challa feel about Tony who like was living in a trailer, and how would he feel about, you know, Kamala being a young teenager, being part of the Avengers. So those are really fun things to figure out is specifically T'Challa's opinion on the various Avengers as they appear in our game.
Yeah, and you know, the Avengers' opinions of T'Challa and Wakanda, right? You know, like let's just say it's a mild crisis of faith for Tony. You know.
Yep.
But I thought I was smart.
Yeah.
I thought I had cool stuff.
Yeah.
But also, can you share all this cool stuff with me?
Yeah,
please?
yeah. And then the response to that is probably what you expect. But yeah,
Nope.
you know, like, you know, T'Challa and Shuri are gonna see. They're gonna have rivalry with some characters. They're gonna have camaraderie with others. You know, they're going to be impressed by some of the capabilities that these other characters bring.
It's
to
the same
their
alligator that ripped dudes
it's
off.
like
Yes.
very much a getting to know you kind of dynamic for a lot of the game. And
What's up,
that was really cool.
Syed?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for Eternal.
Yeah,
What's
that's
up,
okay.
PogChamp?
I will say non-spoilery, but
up,
I
Danilo?
think my favorite hero in Wakanda is Thor. So keep an eye out for for Thor's thoughts on Wakanda.
Interesting.
I didn't write
Love
those.
it.
That was Keanu and Jess.
Love
but they were
it.
yeah. They're pretty much my favorite.
Shout out to Keanu and Jess.
Yeah.
And Nicole.
And Nicole.
See you, Syed. I'm so upset. Can't talk to
Alright,
Hank Kim. We'll try it again
We have a
sometime.
question from Carrot Scraps. This one looks like it's more for you, Evan. As a consultant, how do you guide writers making a new take on an existing character without stepping on existing work? And
I said
retreading
hello,
ground while
PogChamp.
keeping the character's core true?
So, you know, I think, you know, the comics and the original source material are always the foundation, right? And part of engaging with the comics is acknowledging that they themselves have evolved, right? Like T'Challa, as a personality, his history has evolved over the decades, right? Like Hannah said, Dora Milaje were understood one way, but now they're understood another way, right? So,
What's up, Angel?
keeping that sense of evolution in mind, I think definitely frees up people who are adapting these characters into new mediums to also evolve them. You know, like the point is to tell a fresh story, find a new angle, and you know, when I was working on the Miles Morales game, you know, part of it was, okay, what makes Miles Morales different than Peter Parker, you know? And with this project, it was, okay, what makes this version of T'Challa, this version of Wakanda different than the other things we've seen before, right? But how can we also nod at, you know, those other histories, those other stories of Wakanda that we've seen in other medium? And I think this team does a really good job with it. You know, there's things about, like, you know, Wakandan history that are the same kind of beats historically, but like are made manifest in the game. Like I'm talking like physically as certain locations and whatnot. That's very different than the comics have done. And you know, there's a few moments where I was like, "Oh, that's really smart. Y'all thought about this." So you know, part of it was just again supporting that work, and you know, like Hannah said before, pushing a little bit. You know, okay, remember this character is also this. You know, like here's, you know, one way their relationship could turn. So you know, it's always finding a balance between acknowledging the history and the foundation that you're stepping off of, but also like looking upwards and out.
I love seeing the characters interact with each other. I think that's really great.
Right?
I just like saying they don't bring
for
Black
a character like T'Challa, who again literally is the embodiment of the whole country's
Oh, a
history
Black
and
Panther skin with
ideals,
Kratos colors.
that's such
Very
an important thing to
interesting.
keep hold of.
Like it.
And I think, you know, we tried our best on it.
Definitely.
Awesome. So we're like past 11. I know everyone is busy, but before I have one like really open-ended question at the end.
No! Did they stop suddenly?
Question at the end.
Oh, there we go.
Before we get
Okay.
there, if you guys, everyone in chat wants to read more about it, go to our
What's going on?
Entertainment Weekly article where they interviewed Chris Judge.
Iron Man is
and
dead, but
Hannah, all
not in
three
this
of them.
game, Griffin.
And I just want to clarify that the 25 hours does include the base game, the Reassemble campaign, Operations, War for Wakanda, and we can't wait for you guys to play that. But before we end, both of you, what do you guys want players to take or to get out of playing War for Wakanda?
You know, for me, like, whenever I think about Wakanda, like, from a story perspective, but also like a meta perspective, it's like the symbolism of what this place represents, right? Like, Black achievement, Black excellence, you know, the spirit to endure and thrive in a world that doesn't often want to understand you or respect you. To do that anyway, that's what Wakanda realizes. That Wakanda is a realization of that idea. And we definitely tried to home in on that too. You know, like T'Challa's personality and the way he embodies his role as king is definitely a result of that kind of thinking, right? But also, you know,
Thank you,
the
Raymundo.
thing that I think this story has in common with Rise of the Black Panther is how do you present all of that to the world, you know, in a way that encourages collaboration and partnership versus fear and suspicion and greed. So I think, you know, there's like a meta narrative about what
Wakanda
means
forever.
and symbolizes to people that you can also embed in the text itself. And I think we really tried to do that.
Yeah. I think for me, I want people to see the layers that exist for Wakanda that I think not everyone is aware of just by virtue of the movie being the most sort of popular thing. But there's a lot of really interesting layers to Wakanda in terms of the politics, in terms of the different tribes, in terms of the different roles in the government. You know, Wakanda is not one monolithic thing, and I think that's part of what makes it so much a source of hope, like Chris Judge said, which I almost cried when he said that. I want people to see that Wakanda is not just one thing. It means a lot of things for different people. And I hope that by the end of it, it's sort of stuck with you too, that Wakanda has left a mark on you as well. I think that would make me really happy.
Aw. Okay, that's amazing.
Come on, show
that
us
is
something
all
here.
the time we have. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, chat.
Show us
for tuning
something
in.
else.
We have a lot
Tease
more
us.
to show for Wakanda, a lot more to blogs, streams,
Tease us.
all that stuff going.
Give
up
us
in the
one
future
last
before
teaser.
we launch, and
Come
we
on.
can't wait for you guys to get
One
in.
teaser.
Yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Evan, so much for everything.
Well,
We are
thank you,
so,
Andy.
So
Thank
happy
you,
to have
Layla.
I am
Thank you,
also a fan.
Evan.
I keep telling
Thank you,
everyone this.
Hannah.
Sorry
Thank
to be
you,
creepy,
Chris.
by the way. I'm just gonna.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, I'm a huge comic book nerd, so same thing. Thank you so much for coming on here and for just consulting our team and everything. We're
It's been
on.
a ton of fun. I can't wait to dig into this expansion and see it all come to life. And I hope everybody enjoys it. And thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
Well, I guess thanks for watching. So, you know, I was kind of hoping that they would give us like a little teaser at the end, you know what I mean? Let's close this out. You know, like maybe something more. I guess maybe that's too much to ask. I don't know what to say. You know, it is what it is. So what, hold on, let me move my camera again. Wrong way. There we go. All right, cool. So what did you guys think? You know, they didn't reveal anything like new that's immediate, right? But that was a really good conversation. You know, it is what it was supposed to be, right? We were supposed to hear about, you know, the narrative things, what it meant for Chris Judge to be T'Challa, you know, what it meant for Evan and Hannah to write about Wakanda. And I feel like we learned a lot about, you know, what T'Challa is going to be like in this. You know, we definitely are going to see someone who's way more confident than what we saw, you know, as Chadwick Boseman, his portrayal in the movies. Because this Black Panther, this T'Challa, has been king for a while now, right? So he's definitely, they said he's more aggressive, and the people of Wakanda, like, they're more confident because of it. You know, Shuri, they said, is almost seems like more of a teenager than she did, you know, in the comics. And I didn't even think about the fact that this version of Kamala Khan is still just a girl, teenager, that's getting used to, like, being in all of this, you know? Like, she's been an Avenger for, like, I don't know, a month now, you know? Like, she's been running around with, like, all of her heroes, like, literal heroes. So it's going to be different for her to all of a sudden pop up. Thank you, Stepfan Banks. It's going to be weird for her to just all of a sudden pop up in Wakanda, this mythological place to half the world, most of the world, that, you know, I guess is a little less secretive in this variation. So that was certainly very, very interesting to consider. Like, we saw Layla kind of daydreaming at one point when they kind of went to her about, like, you know, what it means to be king, you know? And, like, I kind of really appreciated that. You know, her kind of, you know, humanizing, you know, who they are and everything, and kind of thinking, you know, what does all this mean? You know, even for her, you know what I mean? And she's part of the game. Thank you, PogChamp, for the follow. So I thought that was a really... listen, it was not as flashy. It wasn't something that we could just watch and see a lot of. It was something we had to listen, and we had to pay attention to what they were saying. And there was a lot of information there, and I'm really excited for Black Panther here. I don't know if you guys saw the images yesterday. I have them as my thumbnail, but yesterday they showed off on Entertainment Weekly 2 new images of Black Panther. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to fit to screen. There we go. So Entertainment Weekly had a nice thing right here. Yeah, Ran Mahmood, I agree with you completely. You know, they said something about Thor's reaction to Wakanda is the best one. And I bet he's just going to be, like, amazed. I think he's going to see it all, and he's just going to be like, whoa, this is awesome. And he's going to be really fascinated by everything, you know, going on. And then we also got this image right here. These 2 were in the Entertainment Weekly article yesterday, which I don't have a link to at the moment. I saved the images, though. What is my favorite Kate Bishop costume? It's a good question. So yeah, these were definitely... I really like seeing these 2 images, right? I like this. I don't know what it is, but I really like this costume outfit for Kate Bishop. Probably because, like, I'm one of the few people that have it. This Rick Jones. Oops. Oh God. I'm like... Actually, I've been here before. I really like the Generations outfit. Maybe it's just me. I really don't have that many Kate skins, do I? What's this one? Childhood Dreams. Yeah, I really don't have many Kate items. Oh, I like this one. Nothing to Prove. I hate these ones here. But yeah, I kind of like this one as well. But yeah, this one right here, the Rick Jones preview. So anyway, Magic's not. Magic does not make sense for Marvel's Avengers. Sorry. What about the Super Adaptoid? Next week, I believe. So next Thursday, we should be doing Super Adaptoid. Or maybe it's Tuesday. So that should be coming out next week. Also, the Tachyon Anomalies will be permanent next week. So that'll be good. I think Thor will compare Wakanda to Asgard. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great point. So yeah, man, I thought that was a really fascinating stream. I really enjoyed listening in. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not playing I was only doing this to show off the stream. I'm not going to be playing right now. I will play with subs later another time. Next Avengers stream probably next week. Tonight we have Friday Night Fortnite, so definitely be there for that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the stream with me today. Thank you guys for being here. We had 136 likes. I appreciate that. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. We'll be back tonight with some Friday Night Fortnite. Appreciate you. Let's go big up. Look at that. We got Jiggy right here. Jiggy's all laying down. But anyway, we'll see you guys later. Peace. My beard's a little long.